10 seconds. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Fire! Thunderbird 1 and base from Thunderbird 2. Under missile attack.
Virgil, switch on the jammer.
I think it's too late, Scott.
Are you okay, Virgil? Come in, Thunderbird 2.
Still here, Scott. Boy, that was close. They exploded right beneath me. Feels like I've got some damage on my tail unit.
Trigger interceptor missiles for second attack. 5 seconds.
Changing frequency to
4,
combat jammers.
3, 2, 1, 0.
Fire! Here we go again, Scott.
Get that jammer working, Virgil. I'm catching up on you fast.
They've changed frequency, Scott. They're unchecked. They're coming straight for me.
Oh, hi there. Gordon Tracy speaking. Just listen to this. It's a video recording showing the start of yet another international rescue. The U.S. Navy's super-secret Strike-West Sentinel had made a missile attack on Thunderbirds 1 and 2 when Scott and Virgil were returning from a mission. And Virgil in particular took quite a pasting. It seems the Navy had them figured for hostile craft.
Washington, sir. Emergency call.
Message to Sentinel Commander. Stop attack immediately. Unidentified aircraft is a Thunderbird machine of the International Rescue Organization.
Clayton, missiles 5 and 6, destroy them.
Thunderbird 2 from Thunderbird 1. Come in, Virgil. Will you be able to make it back to base?
I'm not sure, Scott. Engines are running smoothly, but the tail section's giving trouble.
It's just another 10 minutes. Now, you'll make it, Virgil. I know you will. We're nearly home, Virgil. We're nearly home.
Undercut down. Flaps down. Banking for final approach. Easy does it. Easy.
It was a close thing, but Virgil managed to touch down.
He's down.
The wheels, they've collapsed. Wheels have gone. I can't hold her. I'm gonna crash.
Release foam, section B.
The missiles had apparently damaged the undercarriage, causing them to collapse under the weight of the huge craft. The emergency equipment gushed a thick carpet of foam, which lessened the chances of fire in Thunderbird 2, and helped to cushion the impact as Virgil fought to bring her under control. He made it, but in doing so, the poor guy struck his head, and he lost consciousness. He had us all very worried until he finally came to.
How are you, Virgil?
Well, welcome back to the land of the living.
What happened to Thunderbird 2?
Now, quit worrying about that. She was badly damaged, but she's gonna be okay.
There's nothing that a few weeks' work won't put right.
A few weeks? But that's terrible. Supposing she's needed on call.
Well, let's hope she's not. Now, you relax. You need a lot of rest. You take care of yourself, and we'll take care of Thunderbird 2.
Hi, Virgil. Got your TV switched on?
No, sir. I've seen enough TV to last me the rest of my life.
Oh, but this is a special program. They're moving the Empire State Building.
What, today?
Today. And furthermore, right now.
This I must see.
You are about to witness, folks, one of the greatest pieces of engineering feats of all time.
They say that's Ned Cook. You know, the guy had to stop filming us at the oil well.
Yes, Scott. He'd do anything for a story.
In a few moments, the National Television Broadcasting System will show you a construction job that leaves the building of the pyramids in the shade. Today, the Empire State Building here in New York City is going to be moved 200 yards, not piece by piece, but as it stands, all 1,250 feet of it. First of all, we'll explain how this tremendous task is going to be performed.
Sure would like to have been there today.
Yeah, me too.
Now, after tunneling under the foundations, then the jacks were raised, and up she came. The next step was to lay a heavy-duty track under the building and run it to the new site. Now, all that remains to be done is to move the giant building inch by inch to its new site. Wait for it. The signal's been given. She's moving. Yes, she's moving. In all the years of my broadcasting, this must be the most breathtaking moment I have ever experienced. Hold everything. Something's gone wrong. The ground is cracking under the track. It's like an earth tremor beneath my feet. There is something wrong. The atomic motors are shutting down. We have just been ordered off this site by the police. There is, I understand, a very real danger that the entire building could collapse at any moment. We will be on the air again as soon as we have...
What you are seeing is the result of this terrifying tragedy. The Empire State Building has crashed into a mountain of rubble. It is no more.
Help! Can you hear me? Help!
That's Ned Cook's voice.
He's still alive.
One moment. It seems we have a miracle on our hands. That was Ned Cook's voice that we just heard.
Well, how could anyone be alive under all that lot?
I don't know. But one thing's for sure. They'll never get him out.
Now, our equipment could do it, Father. We've got to get Thunderbird 2 there right away.
Scott, you're forgetting. Thunderbird 2 is out of commission. There's nothing we can do.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ned Cook is trapped under the ruins of the Empire State Building and is in touch with us via his radio microphone. We will be using this channel in order to maintain contact with him. All right, Ned Cook, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Just before the building crashed, the ground collapsed beneath our feet. Then the building came down on top of it. Don't ask me why we weren't crushed. It was a miracle. We are now sitting in a hollow about 10 feet wide. We're not hurt, but I can hear water seeping in from below.
Of course. That's the answer.
The answer to what, Brains?
Well, I've been trying to figure out why that area should suddenly collapse. Underground rivers.
Underground rivers?
Yes, Brains could be right. Many cities have rivers running beneath them.
If there was a river running under the Empire State Building, an undetected river, that could have caused the trouble.
That means water will continue to seep into the hollow that's protecting Ned Cook. He'll drown.
If only we could get along that river.
That might be possible with Thunderbird 4.
But we can't airlift it to New York without Thunderbird 2.
Then I'll have to go all the way by sea.
Look, Gordon, your suggestion is not only dangerous, it's also highly impractical. Even if you made it, you'd only be in time to attend Ned Cook's funeral. Right now, I could get the commander of Sentinel...
That's it. The Sentinel. They put us out of action. They can put us back into action.
I get the picture, and I like it. Now, here's what we do. Scott, take off for New York.
Yes, sir.
Gordon, launch Thunderbird 4 using emergency procedure, and then proceed to the position where the fleet exercises are going on. I'll contact Washington and arrange for them to pick you up and rush you to New York.
Yes, sir.
Good luck, Gordon. What can I do, Father?
Go back to bed.
So there it was. A rescue involving Thunderbird 4 and no Thunderbird 2 to get me to the trouble zone. I used the passenger lift, which connected with a big Thunderbird 2 hangar, and boarded Thunderbird 4. I had to use my hover jets to get me to the sea. But then, of course, Thunderbird 4 was in its own element. As I made my way to meet up with Sentinel, Scott was already heading directly for New York City, aboard Thunderbird 1.
This is Thunderbird 1 of International Rescue calling New York. Come in, Empire State, Site Control.
Site Control to Thunderbird 1. Boy, are we glad you guys are around.
Is there any news of the trapped men?
Well, we drilled a pilot hole to supply them with air, lighting, and food. Trouble is, the water level is rising.
Right. I'll be arriving in under 30 minutes. I'll need detailed plans of the underground river systems.
Thunderbird 1 from Thunderbird 4. I have made contact with Sentinel. I'm being taken aboard.
FAB. Now, what is your estimated time of arrival at Danger Zone?
24 hours, I'm afraid.
Okay, Gordon. Now do the best you can.
I've been studying Manhattan Island, Mr. Tracy. Its base is solid rock. Now, underground streams do exist, but they've never been considered a threat.
What are you getting at, Brains?
Well, no recent surveys have been carried out. It's going to be a difficult task to locate the river.
I see. Already it's touch and go whether Thunderbird 4 can arrive in time. Now the rescue could be delayed even further. Go ahead, Scott.
Okay, Father, I'm here, and I'm set up. Now, here's the situation. Ned Cook and his cameraman are still alive. We can get food down to them, but the water is rising. Now, according to our calculations, they'll be under about the same time as Gordon arrives.
Right, Scott. Here's what you do. Pass breathing apparatus down to them and keep them alive till Thunderbird 4 gets there.
Hello, Ned. How you feeling? Now, whatever happens, you stay with it.
That's easy to say, buddy, but it's been 9 hours since you got on the scene.
I know, Ned. We're doing all we can.
Sure. I'm sorry. Guess this hanging around is getting me. We're so helpless. And the cold. The water's freezing.
Is it still rising?
Yeah, it's coming up faster now. At this rate, we have less than 10 hours. We'll be under around 10 a.m.
New York, to Sentinel. What is your ETA?
We calculate 10:05 a.m., Scott.
Well, that's going to leave things pretty tight. Can you get more speed?
Afraid not. We're at maximum speed now.
Answer negative, Scott. 10 hours to New York it is.
Okay, Gordon. I guess there's nothing we can do about it. Hey, how about that breathing gear?
We located some units at the Navy Yard.
Well, that's something.
Joe's in a bad way. This freezing water is getting him. We can't hold on. The water's up to our mouths. We'll have to...
The mask! Put the masks on! Ned, can you hear me? Are you okay? Ned, come in.
It's okay. We've got the gear on. Now we've got to sit here and wait for our air to run out.
We're slowing down. What's wrong?
Well, we're approaching coastal limits. The Hudson and East Rivers are crammed with shipping. We can't possibly go any further at maximum speed.
Well, wouldn't it be quicker in Thunderbird 4? Under the shipping?
Much quicker.
Okay. I'll take it from here.
Sentinel to mobile control. Approaching New York. I am returning to Thunderbird 4.
FAB, Gordon. What is your ETA now?
I'll be near danger zone in 20 minutes.
Hope I can find that river mouth.
So do I. In 20 minutes, Ned and Joe run out of air.
Well, it was up to Thunderbird 4 from here on in. I could expect little or no help from outside sources. Even the exact location of the underground river was uncertain. All I could do was try. So I carried out final equipment checks while the Sentinel crew prepared to lower Thunderbird 4 into the waters of the harbor. Down and down I went until I was under the busy shipping lanes. Then it was full speed ahead and a race against time.
Mobile control from Thunderbird 4. Moving towards East River estuary now.
Thunderbird 4 is on its way, Ned. How's the air going?
Too fast for my liking.
I found it, Scott. I'm moving upstream. So far, we're in luck. It's big enough for navigation.
Sir, there's a message just come in from Central Control. It's pretty serious, I'm afraid.
Well, things couldn't be much worse than they are now. Well, what's their problem?
The land subsidence is spreading. It looks like the Fulmer Finance building is in danger now and could go over as well.
Fulmer Finance? Thunderbird 4 from Rescue Control. Gordon, do you hear me?
Loud and clear, Scott. No sign of these fellas as yet.
Gordon, now listen. You've got to locate them within the next 2 minutes. There's another building up here that's going to collapse. And the impact could cave in the whole area where those guys are swimming.
I tell you what, Scott. Leave the frequency open, and they can try to guide me to them. I wonder where the heck they are.
The air level gauge reads empty. And Joe's in a bad way.
Don't panic. There's probably still some air left in those tanks.
We found it. There's just enough room to get through. Come on, Joe. Swim.
I come to a wall of rock. It's a dead end. Hold it. No. It's a sharp bend. The tunnel goes off to the right. They're close. If only they can hang on just a few more seconds.
Ned, you've got to keep going. Search for Thunderbird 4's beacon. Look out for a beacon. Ned! Joe! Swim!
Joe. They found us. Joe. Come on. We've got to swim. Swim, Joe. Come on. Swim.
I can't see them, Scott. I can't see them. Okay, I got them. Ned, this is Thunderbird 4. I'm opening hatch. Swim into hatch. Scott, they've made it!
Right, now beat it good. Get the heck out of there.
It didn't seem possible, but we made it. I was convinced we might well have to chalk up our first failure during that rescue. Time was against us right from the start. However, I'm happy to say that Thunderbird 2 is now back in service and packed with improvements. So we are once again at full strength and ready to move whenever we get that distress call. Well, thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed the adventure. See you next time. FAB.
Just right. Thank you very much, Parker. Now tell me, how are your investigations going?
Well, milady, I did overhear your Mr. Wholesome talking to Benito, the head waiter. He was saying something about expecting a message tomorrow morning. Back at International Rescue Headquarters, Brains was still trying to solve the problem of the music.
How are the experiments going, Brains?
Well, Mr. Tracy, I definitely established that there's some kind of electronic pattern in the music.
You mean the music was really used as a code?
Well, it looks quite likely, but I still got to decode the music before I'm sure there's a code in it.
The next morning, they set out on skis for Olsen's chalet, and from behind a bush, saw him sitting at a queer-looking contraption, which was making all sorts of weird noises.
What's that machine he's working at?
I don't know. Some kind of electronic computer.
Neither of them had seen anything like it before. It was like a piano with hundreds of blinking lights on it and sounded like a church organ gone berserk. Then, as they watched, the pattern of the lights began to spell out some words. He was receiving details of the next rocket transporter flight. Something had to be done, quickly. Lady Penelope, using the camera hidden in the handle of her ski stick, took pictures. And then they began to make their way back to the hotel.
Did you get a close-up on it?
I certainly did. Come on. We've got to warn Jeff. I just can't get Brains and Alan to eat anything today. They say they haven't got time.
Well, Mother, they've just got to get the combination of this code cracked.
Well, it seems to me... Oh.
Go ahead, Penny.
Jeff, urgent news. We've traced the men who've been sabotaging the transporter planes.
Good work, Penny. Brains, are you there? I want you up here right away.
I'm on my way.
Okay, Penny. We gotta work fast.
Right. Now Tintin's going to show you some of the evidence. Go ahead, Tintin. Now, this, of course, was after that machine of his had done the translating for him.
That's it? Oh, of course. Why didn't I think of it before?
Think of what, Brains? What are you talking about?
That's it. It's a cham-cham.
A cham-cham?
What's a cham-cham, Brains?
A cham-cham is a new electronic machine that is sensitive to ultrasonic harmonics and microtones. Oh, of course. Now that I know the technique they've been using, I'll soon break their code.
Right. We've got to save that next transporter aircraft.
Brains proved from the code that Wholesome had been getting messages to a foreign power, giving flight plans and times of the rocket transportation. This was how they were able to intercept and destroy them. At Mr. Tracy's command, Scott, in Thunderbird 1, was preparing to leave for Matthews Field to try and convince them of the threat to the next flag. Meanwhile, Virgil and Alan had taken off for Paradise Peaks, with orders to stand by in case of emergency.
All right, Cass. Let's try to tune this way tonight. There's just a few minor modifications.
But, Mr. Olson, I don't see what the point is.
Look, Cass, never mind the objections. When we drew up that contract, you agreed to do it my way.
Yeah, okay then. We'll change the arrangement for the broadcast.
That's my boy. Now, you better let the other fellas know. You're on in 5 minutes.
Thanks, Mr. Olson.
Cass, if you must alter the arrangement, you must change it to our way.
Look, Tintin, believe me, if you asked me to play dangerous game on 3/4 time, I'd do it. But I'd still want to know why.
Cass, don't let's go into that again. I can't tell you how I came to be involved in all this. Just trust me, please.
Right, boys, it's nearly time for the broadcast. Now, let's see what's happening at Paradise Peaks. Brains, are you ready?
Yes, Mr. Tracy. I told Penelope how to alter the arrangement to divert those enemy fighters. I just hope they can persuade Cass Carnaby to play it that way instead of Olson's.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, I am happy to present the Cass Carnaby 5.
Oh, dear. Only Penelope can save us now.
She'd done it. Lady Penelope had talked Cass Carnaby into playing her arrangement of dangerous game. The time had now come for us to scatter, and quick. So while they were still playing, we left to catch the cable car. It was up to Scott now.
This is International Rescue calling Matthews Field Control. A short time ago, we tried to tell you that your transporter craft was about to be destroyed by enemy fighters, but you would not listen.
What's this all about?
I am now to inform you that we have diverted these fighters and they are about to overfly the outskirts of this airfield.
That must be the 3 unidentified aircraft we just received a report about. Look, Shadow. Those are the markings. Call action stations. Yes, sir. These aircraft must be destroyed. Yes, sir. So, International Rescue have done it again.
Oh, dear, I feel dreadful slipping away like this. We haven't even paid our bill.
Well, it's the only way to avoid Mr. Olson.
I wonder where he can be.
Good. The 3 of them. Now to make sure they don't interrupt any more broadcasts.
That's strange. We've stopped. What was that?
I don't like this at all.
Olson! Olson, cut that out!
But Mr. Carnaby was just too late. Olson had cut almost through the cable. The weight of the car did the rest. With nothing to hold it, we started to roll.
You crazy fool, the cables are free. That car will never stop.
What's that?
Hey, just look at that. He's cut the cable.
Thunderbird 2 calling Penelope.
Come in, Penelope.
Loud and clear, Virgil.
Look, Penelope.
You're gonna have to give us a hand with this. Let me talk to Parker. Gee, I hope Parker's got a good head for heights.
Virgil wanted me to climb out onto the roof to catch the cables that he lured and attach them to the car. If I didn't, there seemed no hope at all of stopping us. I don't mind telling you, I was petrified. By now we were tearing along at a terrific speed and swaying all over the place.
Right. Lowering cables. Now.
It's a good job there was plenty to hang on to up there. The force of the wind against me nearly pulled me off several times. And every time we passed one of the cable supports, the car jerked violently. It didn't look as though we would make it. There wasn't much further to go.
Parker, use this.
With Thunderbird 2 flying just overhead, the cables were lowered. The terrific slipstream made it difficult to catch them. But with the aid of her ladyship's umbrella, I caught the first one and attached it to the roof. Then, ever so slowly it seemed, I managed to grab and attach 2 more before we were too close. By now, we could see the end of the run and the crowd standing, watching.
He won't make it. He won't make it in time.
Hurry, Parker. Hurry.
Right, Alan. Stand by with retros.
Standing by.
Now!
The terrific jolt as Thunderbird 2 took the strain was too much. I was jerked right off the roof and landed smack in a deep snowdrift. But Lady Penelope and Tintin were saved. The cable car came to a standstill with only yards left to go. Cool. Was I glad that was over. You'll never catch me on one of those things again. Not for all the tea and wormwood scrubs. Mr. Carnaby handed that geezer Holson over to the police. And I'm happy to say that the rocket transporter plane had no trouble getting through after the fasteners had been destroyed. Oh well, back to the pantry, I suppose. Cheerio for now.
At an interview today at London International Airport, no one was giving away anything, but rumor in aviation circles has it that the Skythrust has some revolutionary new features. But Hiram K. Hackenbacker, the brilliant American designer and a well-known man of mystery, would give no information about the aircraft he has played a large part in designing.
Does it say when the Skythrust goes into service?
Well, it must be any day now. That's why Brains is staying on in Europe.
It says, very soon it is expected that the first flight will be London-bound from Paris.
Speaking of Paris, look.
What's it all about, Tintin?
Well, there's a whole feature about Penelope.
Everyone's in the news this week.
Excitement in the Paris fashion world mounted today. Lady Penelope Crichton Ward, the internationally known English beauty, announced she might participate in a charity fashion show presented by François Lemaire for the forthcoming season. It is understood that Lemaire has something really sensational to offer this year. I wonder what it will be.
Hello there. Brain speaking. Or should I say Hiram K. Hackenbacker? For that's the name I used on this occasion. I was in London for talks on the Skythrust, but I was quite unaware of the drama that was building up in Paris involving Lady Penelope.
So as soon as I received your telegram, Francois, I got Parker to make reservations on the first available flight.
So you will do this great favor for me, dear Penelope? You will model for me at the premiere?
Francois, I'd adore to. And you know I'm always ready to help a good cause. Now, what wonderful surprises have you got in store for us this season?
Penelope, I promise you, my creations will go down in history. Some of my rivals would give, their right teeth to know my secret. I have discovered...
Wait, Francois.
What is it, Penelope?
One can never be too careful. Look.
Penelope knew that Francois' discovery must be very important. And it didn't really surprise her when she found a miniature transmitter among the flowers on the table.
All right, Francois, go ahead.
Good. Well, just in case it is not safe, I shall write it down. I shall commit my great secret to paper. Let me see.
But Penelope was now on her guard. The pen that Francois was using aroused her suspicion. Suddenly, she stopped him.
Francois, stop. Please show me that pen. That is what is known as an impressor pen, which can record and transmit anything that the writer commits to paper.
You mean...
Yes. At this very moment, that pen is sending a message to your enemies.
Oh, Penelope, this is too much. Bugs in the flowers, pens that send messages. Oh, I need reviving.
Yes, monsieur, can I help you?
Yes, my sweet. Would you let us have some tea?
Certainly. I shall bring it in myself.
And Deirdre,
Yes, sir?
would you stand by to model the new items that arrived from Eau Claire this morning?
But of course, Mr. Lemaire.
Thank you. These are my two leading models, Madeleine and Deirdre. They will be assisting you in the show.
And they know your secret?
Indeed they do. And this, at last, my dear Penelope, is my secret.
My dear Francois.
Watch carefully.
From a carton, not much bigger than a matchbox, Francois began pulling the corner of a brightly colored fabric until he held in his hands a complete dress.
Voila!
Francois, how wonderful.
This is my new fibre, Penelon. I named it after you, Penelope. I hope you don't mind.
Mind. Francois, this is a revolution.
Penelon can be made into any kind of costume desired. It never gets crushed, and it can squeeze up into the smallest space. Its possibilities are immense, as you will appreciate.
How marvelous.
Here are some other designs in the collection, all made of Penelon.
Ah, tea. How civilized. Do you take sugar, Lady Penelope? Well, one lump wouldn't do any harm, I suppose.
Alas, Penelope, I am the end of my wits. Surrounded on all sides by enemies. What am I to do?
The arrangements for the preview must be changed. We dare not hold it in your salon. The risk is too great.
But where do you suggest? The top of the Eiffel Tower?
That would at least be safer. Now, let's see. There must be somewhere there's no danger of interruption. Got it. I know just the place. But first of all, I shall have to contact a friend.
Penelope's idea was brilliant. She knew about the first flight of Skythrust, and she also knew Ashton, the senior pilot of the airline, who was to fly the plane on this first trip from Paris to London. If only they could hold the preview on board her while she was airborne. It seemed the ideal solution, but first she had to talk to Ashton about it.
But, Lady Penelope, you haven't explained how you came to know Hiram Hackenbacker.
Mr. Ashton, you must allow a lady a few secrets. Let me just say that he and I are associates.
Well, Hiram's quite a dark horse. Boy, what brains that fellow has.
Brains? Oh, yes, he's got a lot of talent, all right. Now, about this scheme of mine.
Well, it seems a lot of trouble to go to just for a fashion show.
Now, isn't that just like a man? Ah, here's coffee.
Will that be all, monsieur?
Yes, thank you.
As the waiter moved away, Penelope's compact signal began to operate.
What is it, Parker?
I'll get you to read it, lady. There's another of them transmitters bugging you. It's just starting to register.
The coffee pot. It must be the coffee pot.
Sure enough, in the lid of the coffee pot was another of those listening devices, which she immediately put out of action.
Penelope, I don't understand.
The waiter planted it to overhear our conversation. Now do you see how important this fashion show is?
Yes, Penelope, I do.
Now remember, Penelope, you must go and get changed as soon as we've leveled out.
Don't worry, Francois. We shan't let you down.
Oh, how about the music? Is it going to be all right?
Mason the steward is taking care of that. He's new to the airline, but I've explained how the cues will go.
As Skythrust began its journey, Tintin and I were nearing London Airport. The Skythrust should have left Paris by now, Tintin.
Oh, I'm so looking forward to hearing about the dress show.
Well, we'll just go up to the control tower to pay our respects, and then we'll go down to the runway and meet the plane.
Aren't you excited, Brains? I mean, Mr. Hackenbacker?
This is called Autumn Crocus. You will observe the swirling pleats and the slim-shaped bodies. The skirt flares slightly at the hem. The entire ensemble, like everything else in the collection, is made of Penelon.
Say, this Penelon is a sensation. It's the biggest thing in fabric development since the cotton mill.
And now finally, mesdames et messieurs, may I present to you the Penelon bridal dress.
This is Skythrust, calling London Control.
Loud and clear, Skythrust. Go ahead.
Proceeding now to London. ETA 15 minutes.
London Control to Skythrust.
We have you on our radar. Provisional runway allocation number 39.
Thank you, London.
Leave those controls just where they are.
Hey, what is this?
Don't do anything stupid. I know how to use these.
Do as she says. She means it.
The plans are changed. We are not going to London.
What's this supposed to be?
Your new destination.
But it's in the middle of the Sahara, miles from anywhere.
Precisely. There'll be no one around to disturb us. Now, set a course. We haven't got time to waste.
You idiot! This is an outrage!
When I want your opinion, I'll ask for it. Right, you. Get all those dresses boxed up again.
Boxed up again? What do you mean?
He means, Francois, that he is going to steal the entire collection.
What?
Exactly. This Penelon stuff is too good a haul to lose.
But they hadn't reckoned on the cunning of Lady Penelope.
Look, Father.
It's Penelope. She's in trouble. I thought it was a little too peaceful around here.
What are we waiting for?
Right, Scott? Away you go. You too, Virgil.
Yes, sir.
With only the bleep of Penelope's emergency signal as a guide, they blasted off, not knowing where they were going or what they were required to do. Penelope hadn't been able to talk as Mason was watching them too closely. She could only hope that her signal would be heard by international rescue, and that they would be able to get a direction bearing from that.
Right. I'm going to contact Brains in London to see if he's any idea what's gone wrong. Give me a bearing on Penelope's signal as soon as you can.
Understood, Father.
Where are they taking us?
Be patient, Francois. Help is on its way.
I have a bearing on Skythrust, Father.
Right.
40 degrees. 18 minutes.
40 degrees, 18 minutes. Looks like they're heading for the Sahara. Why hijack a plane and take it there?
Madeline had planned well. She knew when Skythrust reached the Sahara, 2 more crooks would be there to meet them at a disused airfield.
Look at it. Sand, sand. Nothing but sand.
Stop griping, Russ, and get on that radio.
Calling Skythrust. Can you read me? Calling Skythrust. Come in, please. There's no answer.
That thing's got a limited range, remember? They'll be here.
This is International Rescue calling Skythrust.
International Rescue?
Don't answer that call.
This is International Rescue calling Skythrust. Come in, please.
We'd better answer it. Those boys never give up, you know.
All right. But watch what you say.
Loud and clear, International Rescue.
Request you return to London, Skythrust.
Tell him no.
I'm sorry we can't do that.
I must insist you do.
Here, give me that. And if we don't, what then?
I'm afraid we'll have to take action to force you to.
Who are you trying to kill?
Your job is to save lives, not to risk them. Just leave us alone.
Come in, Scott.
I've spoken to Skythrust, Father.
But they're not going to give in without a fight.
Well, I have a feeling we can bluff them for a bit. Brains has an idea. He's telling Virgil about it now.
I want you to load up a low-velocity, non-explosive missile.
And take a pot shot at Skythrust's undercart.
Sounds pretty risky, Brains.
Now, don't worry, Virgil.
It'll be all right. Just trust Mr. Hackenbacker.
Okay, then. Hire him.
Look, a Thunderbird.
Wow. Trying to scare us, eh?
Real close this time, Alan.
FAB.
I've had enough of their little games. Now hear these, you crazy fools. I've got Ashton and the co-pilot right here beside me.
If you're still inside 30 seconds from now, Ashton gets a bullet through the brain.
Did you see the Thunderbird, Penelope?
Yes, that's got them worried.
Don't build up your hopes, friends. Looks like mighty international rescue are giving up. Well, it seems we'll have to use Brain's idea, Alan.
Right. Let's get back after them. Closing.
Fire as soon as you can.
Steady, steady. 1,000. 800. 600. 400. 200. Missile away.
What was that?
I don't know. We better check it out.
The wheel housing's locked. It's no good. It won't free itself.
What sort of trick is this?
It's no trick.
And it means we can't land in the Sahara. Not with an undercart malfunction.
Don't try and blind me with science.
All right. Get Mason in here. You say he knows about these things?
I think I'll do just that.
I hope you know what you're doing. We may not fool Mason. He could know about the Hackenbacker device.
It's a pretty well-kept secret. I'm betting he doesn't know.
What's this about not being able to land in the desert?
That's right, Mason. How much do you know about Skythrust?
Enough.
Take a look at this, then.
All right. There's a fault in the undercart.
Exactly. Now, if you can tell me how to land this aircraft on the desert airstrip, miles from anywhere, without wheels, you better tell me now.
4 minutes to rendezvous.
We'll have to turn back.
If we do, who says we can land at London?
Well, at London, they're fully equipped for emergency landings. At least we'll have a chance.
What is going on?
All right. Head for London.
Now wait a minute.
Shut up. I've seen a plane go up, and I don't want to be in this one when it does. They're turning back. Tell Father.
Right.
I'm worried, Brains. All those fire trucks.
Well, they won't need those.
I don't understand. What is so special about Skythrust?
Just wait and see, Tintin. Wait and see. 17 miles to touchdown.
Reduce power.
Reducing power.
How much fuel left?
Just under half.
Nearly half. Well, can't we jettison some?
Pull yourself together, Mason.
Take her down to 1,000 feet.
Reducing altitude.
Look, about the fuel.
What about it?
Can't we ditch some overboard, like Mason said?
I'm sorry, it can't be done. If you two are so worried, why don't you get back in the rear? It's the safest place.
Yeah. Why don't we do that?
Well, they say the proof of the pudding's in the eating. So here goes.
Well, Mr. Hackenbacker?
We're in your hands now.
This was what I had been waiting for.
Here's your guns.
The giant form of Skythrust came soaring in and touched down in a shower of sparks and smoke. Then, suddenly, two jets, housed in the tailplane assembly, burst into life, and the whole end section, which contained the fuel tanks, roared into the air.
There she goes. Take her up to 40,000 feet on 320. Stand by. Detonate.
There was the terrible screech of tortured metal against stone as the momentum carried the rest of Skythrust forward, sending a shower of metal everywhere as pieces broke off. But by now, the real danger was over, and she slowly came to a halt without catching fire and without serious injury to anyone on board.
5,000 gallons. You've got to hand it to Hackenbacker. His ejectable fuel pod to eliminate fire hazard really works. It will revolutionize flying safety.
Are you all right, Penelope?
Fine. It was no worse than 1 or 2 conventional landings I've experienced.
Look at that.
Well, well, well. The 2 brave hijackers. Don't get up. You can just lie still and wait for the police.
What about their accomplices, Penelope?
I'm sure they'll be well taken care of, Francois.
I sure am pleased that my design worked. But I must confess that those last few minutes seemed like hours until I saw that fuel explode. I dread to think what might have happened if a fault had developed. Well, Penelope is now enjoying a nice, quiet holiday after the excitement of the crash and the fashion preview. The crooks, too, are having a holiday at the expense of the French government. So I think I'll just settle back here on the island and have me a holiday, too. So long for now.